You know, being a travel influencer sounds like the absolute dream. I mean, think about it. Free trips, exotic destinations, PR packages, connections, hookups, likes, subscribers, all the things. But what if I told you behind all of those Instagram shots, behind all of those reels, and those shorts, and those YouTube videos, there were some serious downsides to being a travel influencer. Hello, everyone. I am Rachel, a retired travel influencer who's been to over 70 countries in the world. Now, while I loved my journey as a travel influencer, I gotta keep it real. There were some parts of being an influencer that really wore me out, y'all. So in this video, I want to share some of the aspects that probably doesn't get shared by some of your favorite travel influencers that I am going to keep it real on today. So let's get started, and I will share with you 5 things that I really did not like or appreciate about being a travel influencer. Now, I have to be honest, as a content creator, I knew that there were going to be rough patches, but there were obviously areas that I were not aware of and I probably couldn't have prepared for. Obviously, I thought I would be living the dream and traveling the world, but there were aspects, again, that came up that I really didn't like and that I still really don't see a lot of content creators sharing or talking about. As I ventured through this content creation journey, I realized very quickly that all of the pretty pictures wasn't exactly what it cracked up to be. And obviously at the time, it wasn't a huge online community of content creators like there is today. So luckily I had a community of other travel influencers that I could talk to and reach out to. And it come to find out, all of us were burnt out. The constant pressure of creating content, understanding our audiences, trying to be seen by brands, the burnout of constant travel, not getting paid, or the lack of pay like some of our other counterparts. It was a lot. So anyway, now that I painted that picture a little bit, let's dive a little bit deeper in the 5 things that I did not like about being a content creator. So the first thing that I did not like about being a content creator, and again, this is at the earlier part of content creation, if you will, and that is always having to be on. And what I mean by that is always having to be prepared to create content, whether I'm at dinner, whether I'm out and about. There were some times where people recognized me, and not in a weird, creepy way, but there just weren't a lot of Black content creators at the time. And so even, if I'm being spotted, I don't want to look a mess. Not that I look a mess. Let me correct that. But, having to be on, maybe I don't feel like talking. I'm actually an introvert. So, having to constantly be ready to talk and engage is a bit exhausting for me. So that was one aspect of being a content creator that I just didn't like, because again, had to always be ready to film content, always had to be ready to have engaging and charismatic conversations, even when my energetic battery was super low. Next, it was burnout from constant content creation and having to stay relevant. It came to the point where travel has always been a passion of mine, but it became to the point where it became a burden. Now travel looked like capturing the perfect shot, trying to capture my plate of food and then it getting cold, or, sometimes going on press trips where you don't really get an opportunity to soak in the monument or take in the attraction because you have to hurry up, get your footage, and move on to the next destination or thing because you're trying to cram so much in. And I'm not complaining. It, again, was amazing, but trying to monetize your passions in a way where, again, AI wasn't a thing. Finding an agency to help you was extremely expensive at the time. So there just weren't as many tools to help like it is today, but definitely the constant content creation. And then when it became multiple social media platforms, it was just too much. And I completely got burnt out from creating content. I debated putting this point in here, but I'm gonna say it. And point number 3 is the crabs in a barrel mentality. And it's unfortunate to say it, but again, at the time, there weren't as many Black content creators as it is today. And unfortunately, some, not all, absolutely not all, I'm not saying that, but there were some content creators who have, and I'm sure there still are content creators who still have this crabs in a barrel mentality where, they didn't share connections or make introductions or, give insight or give advice. I've always been a girl's girl. So to me, that was something I did not like and didn't appreciate, especially when you go on press trips with these other content creators. You would look at it as an opportunity to connect and to grow and to learn. But then it just kind of becomes messy and petty. Again, not all the time, but it happened a few times for me, obviously enough to make it a point in my content creation journey that unfortunately along the journey, there are people who want to help you along, but there are also people who, hate to see you move, not even faster than them, but just move at all on the same road, even if y'all got different lanes. I hope y'all caught that. The next thing that I struggled with being a content creator is sacrificing my authentic voice or experience for content. And what I mean by that is sometimes, and not all the time, when you go on press trips, the brand has some guidelines for you, things that they want you to say or not say. And sometimes there are aspects of the way that I travel or the way that my audience may travel or have an interest in that the brand does not want you to talk about or to share. And, as a marketer by trade, I understand it, but I did not like having to sacrifice my authentic view and perspective in the name of a free trip or in the name of getting paid to post said content. The last thing that I struggled with, and I'm sure it's still a struggle, is the lack of recognition for Black content creators. So again, at the time, this is almost a decade ago, being a Black content creator, DE&I, diversity and inclusion, and all of these conversations around diverse voices from Black creators and, just different communities was not a conversation. And so at the time I felt that, and I'm grateful to say that I am one of the people who, led and charged the path for content creators to start getting recognized and getting paid. But at the time, my peers in the space and I were constantly sending presentations on why the voice of a Black content creator mattered, why the Black dollar was powerful in America, these sorts of things. So at the time, I felt like it was an uphill battle to not only create this type of content, but be recognized that there is a whole diverse group of people who travel differently than what the mainstream or typical audiences may travel. So although I have observed that things have changed, I don't know if it's, where it should be, probably not, but I do think there is progress. And again, it wasn't something that I liked at the time, but I can see that things have shifted for the better. I was a content creator for over 7 years. So After a while, these things start to take a toll on you. Again, burnout is a real thing. I developed a bit of social anxiety, a bit of, fear of being seen, not wanting to put myself out there. I'm since over those sorts of things, but again, having to constantly be on, having to always or feeling like sometimes you have to stifle yourself just wasn't something that I enjoyed about the journey. Now, I will say these difficulties and some of these tough realities were minute compared to the amazing benefits of being a travel influencer. So I will share that on the second video. But the second video, but if you enjoy content like this and would like to see more videos where I share my perspective as a retired content creator and travel influencer, then I invite you to subscribe, to comment, to like, to join, to share this video with your cousin, with your friend, with your boo. Would love to have you in my community. And until the next time, I love y'all, and we'll see you in the next video.